welcome to the Team Rockstar new coach call. Pretty much everyone on the call is considered to be a new coach because you've started within the last couple months. And what we're going to do today is kind of go over some of the things that I feel are very important for people to know, especially those who want to take this business seriously and build an actual business from home and not just have it be a discount thing. So I want to give you all the tools that have helped me over the past 2.5 years to become successful and that are easy to duplicate, easy to do, but you need to know them in order to see what the potential is of this baby and throw the things that you need to in order for it to become successful for you. So if you give me 1 second, I'm going to go to close my door. You can stay in here. All right, well, we were going to have TJ and Gabby jump on, but their mic is not working. So I will go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Lindsay Matway. I'm a 15-star diamond coach, the founder of the Bombshell Dynasty, which is you guys' upline team. So you're part of Team Rockstar and you're also part of the Bombshell Dynasty or Team Dynasty, as we sometimes refer to it. A lot of you guys might not know my story. You might just know that I'm doing well in the business, but I didn't start as an entrepreneur or a successful business person or even a success in any aspect of my life, really. I started about 3.5 years ago, or no, 4 years ago now. I had a baby and she was born prematurely. Before that, I had been a bartender my whole life from my working career. And I wanted to get out of that business really badly once I had a baby. Not only because I had a baby now, but because she was premature and she needed me to be at home to take care of her and give her the best possible outcome with a brain bleed that she suffered from. With that brain bleed, even though we had insurance, we had some type of insurance, it wasn't the greatest insurance, but we had insurance, we ended up having over $222,000 worth of medical bills, plus a house that depreciated, $100,000, just crazy amounts of debt all of a sudden when I had never been late on a payment before in my life. I was 24 years old at the time, and I ended up having to file for bankruptcy because I didn't see any way out of that kind of debt, especially the fact that we had both only been bartenders. So in order to gain some control back into my life, I decided to do a little workout program called P90X because I felt like maybe if I got back to my old self, the way I used to feel, that I could start to get some of the pieces back together in my life. And I started P90X. I failed a bunch of times because I couldn't stick with it. I was very frustrated. I couldn't do the things that I could once do, and I couldn't keep up with the people in the program until one day I decided, you know what, enough's enough. I need to stop making excuses for my life, stop feeling bad for myself, and do something about it. And so I decided to post my results, or I started to track my results on YouTube. And I posted a day 1 video, then a day 30 video, then a day 60 video, and eventually I finished the program, and after 90 days was in the best shape of my entire life, thanks to an at-home workout program, which I would have never thought. I always thought those things were a scam. But this program had changed my life, and not only had it made me physically in the best place in my life, mentally I was in a different place. I was starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I was having these women and a few men message me on YouTube saying that my journey had inspired them to start their own journey, and they were asking me questions about how I got there, what I did for nutrition, how I stayed motivated. And so that really fueled my fire. And I remember telling my husband, if I could get paid, if that could be my job to help these people, it would be my dream job. You know, you wouldn't have to pay me much, but I would just need to make something, and that I could do it full time and take care of my family. And one day, nobody recruited us as coaches. We weren't somebody who somebody called up and said, hey, you should really become a coach. I actually called Beachbody and asked if they had any kind of referral program. And they said they did. They said it was $40 to sign up and $15 a month, and that I could make a 25% commission off of anybody who bought things through me. And I was like, all right, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Thinking it would maybe make me, I don't know, like $100 a month or something, just to make it worth my while, to be able to spend a couple more hours a week on it. Little did I know what I was getting myself into, and that it was literally God had led me to the thing that I was meant to do. And, you know, as you can see in this picture with my little girl, she's definitely my fuel to my fire. I knew I had to make something of myself for her because, you know, though our circumstances seemed grim when we first started, I had to be that provider for somebody. I had to show my family that I was going to make this work. And I got a phone call from somebody in Beachbody one day after months of not doing anything. And they told me that they had started with Beachbody 3 or 4 years earlier and were making $7,000 a week. And I was like, selling P90X? Are you kidding me? Like, how is that even possible? And they said, well, you should really check out the business side of it instead of just the commission side of it. And I said, all right, well, you know, where should I go? They sent me to a video, and it's a very basic video. It wasn't even as extensive as this training will be. But all I had to do is see that it was possible. And because I saw that it was possible, I decided, you know what, there's no way anybody is stopping me. But here's the thing. I didn't have great upline people like Gabby and TJ or even me to come up to. There was really nobody above me that was doing anything. They weren't making any significant amounts of money. They didn't have any training set in place. You didn't even have the Coach Training Academy back then. There was really only a bunch of random videos in the back office, and I literally went through and I watched every single one of them. And I was determined, like I said earlier with the P90X, I was determined to stop using my excuses because I didn't have a good upline, I didn't have training, blah, blah, blah. I was determined to become that upline that I wished I would have had, to become that kind of coach that I wish I would have had to lead me. And so that's what I've done with this business. That's how I've led. And it's turned into an absolute miracle business for me. And it's turned into not only changing my life, but hundreds of other people on our team have turned this into a full-time business, making significant amount of money. People are quitting their jobs and doing this full-time. The potential is seriously endless. There's people that make over $1 million a year coaching. And so it's not something that you can make just $100 every month or $200 every week. It's something that you can seriously take as far as you want to. All right, so let's talk business. I'm going to explain this a little more. Here's the things we're going to be hitting on. And I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because I don't want to take up your whole night. But I just wanted to hit on these 4 topics. Number 1, owning your own business. Number 2, the 3 vital behaviors of a coach. Number 3, getting coaches started right. And number 4, Success Club. So currently on Team Dynasty, the team that I originated on July 12th of 2010, there are over 3,000 coaches. So from one, little old me, to now 3,000 people. That's how big it grew in a matter of like 2.5 years. And yours can do the exact same thing in the exact same amount of time. It's all up to you. So you're a business owner, and all of you guys signed up, no matter, unless you're military and you got in free, you signed up and you paid $39.95, or you got a challenge pack and got that fee waived. And here's the deal. So many people have to invest so much more money to become a business owner. You invested that and you became a business owner, and you can sit there and look at it like this guy looking at the pennies and hope that it turns into something, which it won't. Or you can do something about it. You now own a business and turn this into something that can make you multi-million dollars. As coaches, we invest $39.95. We pay $15.95 a month. So you're risking for your business $119.70 in your first 6 months. So huge investment, right? Not really. When there's a potential to make millions of dollars, if you're an investment specialist, you would know that that's a fantastic little investment to actually have that kind of return. So if you were drinking Shakeology every month as a customer versus as a coach, in the first 6 months, you would save yourself as a coach $179.92. So therefore, if you had 0 sales and you were just doing it for the discount, you would still save yourself $60.22 by being a coach in the first 6 months. Kind of crazy. So it actually makes more sense for someone to become a coach if they're going to be regularly drinking Shakeology than it does for them just to be a customer. Now here's an example. This is what I compare it to. I compare Beachbody coaching to owning a franchise because you've already got pre-established brands. We have things that are known by everybody out there pretty much. I mean, who hasn't heard of P90X or Insanity? You have a pre-established coach relations, customer service. You don't have to deal with orders. You don't have to deal with product development. You don't have to deal with back office stuff. It's all taken care of for you. All you're doing is managing that brand. and becoming your own owner of that brand, a subsidiary brand of that. So Mary Maids, for instance, the investment to get into Mary Maids, remember you invested $120 for 6 months in business. Their initial franchise fee is $25,000. 7-Eleven is $31,000. So these people that are getting into these businesses, becoming a franchisee of these businesses, obviously they think about it more than somebody signing up as a coach. And they probably do a lot more research. And when they get into the business, I'm sure they know all about the products that they're getting into. So what 7-Eleven owner hasn't tasted a Slurpee? Kind of similar to a coach that hasn't drank Shakeology or doesn't drink Shakeology. You have to be a product of your products to believe in it enough to sell it. And so if you were to treat your business as a coach the same way that some of these other franchisee owners who invest $25,000, $31,000 would, your business would be so much more successful. But the problem is people get into coaching and it's $40. So, you know, if you don't make it work, then right, who really cares, right? Because you lost out on what, $40? If you treated it like a $100,000 business, how differently would you approach it every single day? How much more knowledge would you have on what you have in your hand? How many of you guys have actually gone through the Coach Training Academy? Watch all the videos. Make sure you watch the back office news feed to see what's coming up. Listen to the national coach calls every week. Because that's the things that I did in my business. I treated it like a $100,000 business, and that's what it turned into, times a lot now. So it's all about how the approach that you take on it, and what are you going to do about it? Are you going to treat it like a $40 business, or are you going to treat it like you invested something real and put some skin in the game? So Beachbody as a business is thriving. They've got, let's see, the past 2005 is when the Coach Network was established. That's when it's at $83 million. And even during the recession, because it's only obviously been in Canada for like the last 5 months, even during the recession in the US, the business continued to thrive, never having a down year, always increasing. This past year, I believe it was over 600 million that they did this past year, and they're projected to potentially be a $1 billion company this year, and if not this year, for sure next year. So whether you do the business or not, this business is thriving. People are buying the products, and I get a lot of people that are like, well, you know, people don't want to buy the products from me because they found it on eBay, or like in Canada, you guys have it in stores. People are purchasing the products, so it's just whether or not they're going to purchase it from you. And the thing is, the reason why they will purchase it from you is because you add value to their life. So for instance, for me, when I become somebody's coach, I'm going to give them my own personal nutrition plan. I'm going to give them help with mindset things that help me overcome. You don't get that if you buy that off of Amazon. All you get is DVDs. And how many people buy those DVDs and they go into a bookshelf and they never get used? So a coach actually helps you with the approach of completing the program. And that's why we do challenges and things like that to really help people become successful with these programs, not just buy the program and get the quick commission and leave them in the dust. Because if you help mentor people through these programs and help them succeed, what are they going to want to do? The same thing I wanted to do when I succeeded. And I had people asking me what I was doing. I wanted to help them. And it also helped that I could help them and get paid. So then those people become coaches. And they're not just any coach, they're passionate coaches, coaches with a purpose, because they want to help change people's lives the way that their lives have been changed. So just so you guys know the importance of Shakeology, here is a little revenue composition chart that shows 70% of coach revenue is from Shakeology. That's how important it is. So that's why everything is centered around that. When we'll learn about Success Club at the end of this call, it's all centered around Shakeology, because that's where your residual income comes in. And that's where the bread and butter is of this business. Not only that, but it's kind of funny because I always tell people, and I think most people would agree, 70% of your results come from nutrition. And it just happens to be 70% of our revenue comes from our nutrition product, Shakeology. So when I lose a sale of Insanity or P90X, I still help those people regardless, because you don't know. By you saying no to that person, to helping that person because they got it off of eBay or whatever, they could then not become your Shakeology customer, or they could then not become your great coach. My 2 top guy coaches, Scotty Hobbs, and one of my first diamond coaches, or he was my first diamond coach, Steven Cartagena, never bought a thing from me. They actually, Steven was somebody who was a bar regular of mine. he knew I had had these great results with P90X because I was still working in the business. I told him all about it. I told him I was a coach, and then he went about it from Craigslist. But I still supported him. And because I still supported him, he then became a coach later on, and then, was my first diamond and star diamond coach. So you never want to just discard someone just because you don't make a quick buck in the beginning. This is my first paycheck with Beachbody. Probably look kind of familiar to some of you guys. It's what most of your first checks will look like, unless you're just going out there and killing it right from the beginning. But I made one sale, and my commission was $29.96. And I was pretty pumped about that because, I was excited to make my first little bit of money. But we all start at the same place, and it's just what you do with it from there. So when you become an Emerald coach, is when you have 2 active coaches underneath you. You have to be active yourself, and active means that you have 50 PV, personal volume, or more. You can get that volume from your own personal purchases, which you should all be on Shakeology auto ship if you're a coach that wants to pursue this business. So you should all be active anyway. Or it can be through a customer purchase. Doesn't matter. But an Emerald means you have 2 active coaches under you, 1 on each side. This was a paycheck stub from when I was an Emerald. So I have my retail commissions, which is what I get from my customers, 25% of their purchases. So I made $100 that week from my customers. And then I made 1 team bonus cycle. And for those of you who do not understand what a team bonus cycle is, it's a bonus that you get from the volume the coaches underneath you sell. So when your coach, if you're an Emerald, you have 2 coaches. When your coach sells Shakeology, that's 90 PV. When somebody on the other side sells a P90X, that's 90 PV. All that gets saved, and as you get to 300, 100 from one side and 200 on the other, you get a bonus cycle of $14. And that's what? Nothing. Who cares about the $14, right? Doesn't seem like much. I want you to watch my paychecks as they go up and how things switch. That little $14 measly payment is now 95% or more of my income as a coach 2.5 years later. So here's a paycheck, 2 paycheck stubs from when I was a diamond. Notice these ones still, my retail commissions is more of my income than anything else. My team bonuses went up to $72 in the top one, and now I'm kind of bringing it down in the bottom. I've got $234 worth of team bonuses, and that's because I'm starting to make my team a success. So here's the deal with Beachbody. You can be the best retailer out there, but you can only go so far as a retailer. There's only so many people you can hit every single week consistently for sales. So you being like the top retailer is really not the biggest deal. The biggest deal is when you can get people in the business and help them succeed. Now, if you get a bunch of people in the business and they're all inactive and you don't help them, not only did you fail yourself, but you failed them as their leader, and you're not helping duplicate, and therefore you're not going to be successful in this business. Your main job as a coach is not to retail. Though I want you to do that because that's your main income in the beginning. But your main job as a coach is to duplicate success. To help people see the potential in this, get on webinars like this so that they can see what's possible, and then show them how to make it as simple as possible for them to do what you're doing. And so the second stub, you can see my retail commissions went up a little bit. My team bonuses went up to $234. And the other stuff is just little matching bonus. When you get to diamond, you get a 10% matching bonus on whatever team bonus your teammates make. So I don't know, that's kind of confusing. But anyway, you can see that starts at really small too, $13.20, not a big deal. But if my coaches are making money, that means $132 is made by my coaches in team bonuses that week. Watch later on how big that number gets. This was when I was a 2-star diamond. That means I've helped make 2 people diamond that are directly sponsored by me. At that point, my commissions hadn't really changed. I was a 2-star diamond now, but my personal commissions hadn't changed from when I was a diamond. But my team bonuses were now more than my actual retail commissions because my team is starting to succeed. My matching bonuses are up, to $30, and it's nothing to write home about, but still it's $30 because $302 was made by my team in team bonuses that week. This little picture below is kind of a breakdown of how that works. So Arnell Bonawa that week had made $144, therefore I got $14.40. Laurel had made $56 in team bonuses. I made $560 off of her. So that's just a breakdown to show you how that looks. Now, this is a weekly paycheck for when I was 5-star diamond and 7-star diamond. Look at my retail commissions. Like, they have not moved, or they've actually gone down in this past one. So retail is slowly becoming something that I'm not really even focused on. I'm running my monthly challenges the same I did in the beginning, but I'm more so focusing on my team and helping them to start their own businesses and duplicate that success. And so as my team grows and succeeds, does my team bonus grow, and I start to succeed more. And now that $13 bonus matching cycle is now $424 because my team made $4,246 in matching, or I'm sorry, in team bonuses. And my personal team bonuses are almost $3,000 that week. So kind of crazy how that $29 paycheck off my first sale, or when I was an Emerald, that $100 and something can turn into, in a matter of less than a year, $3,531 in a week. Now this was when it really kind of sunk in for me, and this was this past March during our Success Club trip. Every March there's a Success Club trip, and for those of you who don't know, next year's is a cruise. If you didn't register for it, you can get on the waiting list, and for those who cancel out their trip, you can actually take their place. But I was on vacation in the Bahamas, and I didn't work the entire week. And when I checked my paychecks the next week, they actually totaled my highest paycheck ever, which was $4,018, while I was on vacation, gone the entire week, didn't work, didn't check in once. That's why I love this business. Because more than anything in my entire life, what I really wanted was freedom. I wanted the freedom to choose to do what I wanted to do. If I wanted to work, I wanted to work. I'm a hard worker. So I don't have a problem with putting in the sweat and blood into this business. But if I want to take a break, if I want to go do something, I want to be able to go do it. I hate answering to someone. And so that was my first taste of true freedom. To know that I was gone all week long, but that there were probably 1,500 people on the team at that point that were back home working because they weren't on vacation. And because they were working, I was still making an income. And vice versa. When they go on vacation, I'm still working, and therefore they're still making an income. When I was a bartender, if I took a week off, not only would I have to take off most of the weekend because that would mean I would lose my shifts, so I'd pay the money to go on the vacation, but then I would also have to subtract that money because I wouldn't be making any money that week from bartending. This vacation was actually paid for by Beachbody, and I made the biggest paycheck I had made at that point. So I wish I could just put into words what that feeling is like and what freedom like that means to me and what I think it would mean to most people. But that's why I'm passionate about this business, and that's what gets me more fired up to never stop building, because how could I deny somebody of that kind of feeling? How could I deny them of the potential of making $4,000 a week? You know, I was at, less than 2 years at that point, and doing something that I'm passionate about, that I love, and that you get to change people's lives physically, but also financially and mentally. For me, if it falls into the lap of the right person, it's game changing. It'll blow your mind. So anyway, I don't show you those to brag or to say, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm showing it to you guys to show you it's possible for you too. And only you decide if it's possible for you. If you think that's impossible, or if you think it's just her, whatever, she did it, but that I couldn't do that, then you're right. You can't. But you guys have a ridiculous advantage that I didn't have. You have all the training set in place. You have amazing mentors to go to, and there's no reason why you couldn't do it and do it even faster than me. I never had a coach placed underneath me. I'm sure all of you have pretty much had coaches placed under you already. So anyway, that's just my little breakdown of everything. But here's how it works. You reap what you sow. So if on day 1 you plant some seeds, a couple corn seeds, and you plant, let's say 5, and you expect them to turn into a whole field of corn like 5 days later or a couple weeks later, you're going to be sadly mistaken. Because it takes time to mature. You don't just tell people about Beachbody coaching and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, this guy got into Beachbody coaching, let's all join him. People need to see you doing. They need to see you being consistent with it. Think about if somebody comes to you with any kind of new business opportunity and they don't have results from it yet, or they haven't been consistent with it, or the way that they come across is very salesy, that they're just trying to talk you into it so they'll get a quick buck off of you. You wouldn't want to join them either. So a lot of times what happens is people get in, they talk about Beachbody so much, nobody jumps on, and they're like, ugh, it doesn't work. It's not going to work for me. I'm done. But the truth is it takes 75 to 90 days on average for corn to mature into for corn seeds to mature into an actual plant. The same thing goes with the Beachbody business. You're planting seeds constantly. I'm consistently planting seeds. Even today, 2.5 years later, I'm talking to new people all the time. Those are my seeds. That's what I mean by seeds, is you're talking to new people, planting the seed in their mind that you could potentially help them, whether it be with fitness stuff, health stuff, with business. And then over time, you're not worried about those 1 or 2 seeds. You're not too caught up on 2 or 3 people. You're planting seeds so often, you're talking to so many new people that you're not worried, because the ones that are matured 75 to 90 days are now sprouting up. And as long as you keep planting those new seeds, there's always feast. You never have to go through the feast and famine thing. You're always eating because you're constantly planting and constantly reaping what you sow. So what goes into this transformation? Same thing that goes into a successful coaching business. It's dedication, time, endurance, strength, consistency, persistency, willpower, and vision. She didn't just work out 3 times and see results. I'm sure there were times when she got discouraged and she was like, God, I don't know. But she kept going because she had a vision of what it would look like and feel like, more importantly, to be at her goal. And those little by little, she kept pushing with it. And now you look at her and you're like, holy crap, I would love to look like that, you know. But that's the same thing that happens with coaching. You're not going to have immediate results to show people. There's not going to be this before and after 2 weeks later. It's going to take consistency over a period of time for your results to show up. So where do you start? There's 3 critical steps in Beachbody. Number 1, being a product of the product. Number 2, personal development. And number 3, you have to share your journey. So I decided to use 2 people from you guys' team because I figured, why not? Who wouldn't want to know what you guys are doing? And the thing is, you're getting paid to tell them what you're doing. So all you have to do is be your best customer and share what you're doing, and people will eat it up. I have people all the time that write me thank you letters just for me being open and honest about what I do, because people they want to know what these kind of people are doing. And you don't have to look like TJ or Mason to be, you know, a successful coach. But if you're actively getting better yourself, then people will want to know what you're doing. But the problem is, I've seen so many people get in Beachbody and 6 months later they have had 0 changes, physically or mentally, and they wonder why they're not successful as coaches. People are waiting. They're waiting to see if it works. And they don't care about all the pictures you post of other people. They're watching you. And you don't have to have 6-pack abs or, you know, this amazing Brazil butt lift. You just have to have some kind of changes for people to be like, all right, I see it works. Let's go. To me, the number 1 most important thing is personal development. If I had stayed the same person I was 2.5 years ago, I would not be running a multi-million-dollar company. I can promise you that. I was not anywhere near the person I am today. Nowhere near. And I had to grow in so many areas of my life to get to the point where I would be the kind of person that could inspire somebody. And so I worked on things like time management because I'm not the most organized. I've worked on things like getting over the past and self-confidence and speaking and anything you can think of that I was like, ugh, that's an area I struggle with. Then I wrote a book on it. I mean, if I could turn on my webinar, which I would not right now, you would see my bookshelves are covered with personal development books because I'm obsessed with it. And the reason I'm obsessed is not just because I love the books, but because they've changed my life. They've changed who I am and they make me a better person. And that makes me a better leader. It makes me a better coach. And so more than anything, more than any back office training that I could do, the best thing I've ever done for myself is invest money into personal development and spend time consistently reading books on how to become a better leader, a better person, a more confident person, a better organized person, that kind of thing, to become the kind of person that someone would want to be like. And then number 3, you've got a story to share. No matter who you are, whether you're ripped or whether you are 50 pounds overweight and need to lose that 50 pounds, whether you're a single mom, you're a college student, you want to tone, you want to bulk, whatever. You have a story and you have to share that story with your niche market. And that means that it's people just like you. There are so many people that are living the same thing that you have, maybe some of the same struggles that you have. Until you're open with them and share about the things that you've been through, then people just don't relate to you. And the problem is most people want to come across perfect. And had I never shared my story, had I kind of covered up all the things that happened that were bad, then people would be like, oh, well, of course that girl can do it. But as soon as they knew about the struggles and the hardships, then they're like, wow, I didn't realize, she had been through that. Or I didn't realize, wow, I had something like that happen too. I wonder if I could do that. So you have to share your story, number 1. Number 2, you have to add value. People want to know what you know that's helped you succeed. And so, I was talking to Gabby, and we were talking about, some of you guys who are in competitions and things. People want to know what you know about nutrition. They want to know how you get your body to look like that. If you shared that with them, if you got them in challenge groups and you said, or you promoted it like, hey, I'm going to start a challenge group. I'm going to be mentoring 10 people one-on-one with my exact nutrition plan on how I can get you in the best shape of your life in 90 days. Message me for details. You would get flooded because everybody wants to know that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be all nutrition knowledge. People want to know what you know if you're great at fashion, if you're great at makeup, if you're great at whatever you're great at. It could be any of your passions. It doesn't have to necessarily be Beachbody. So just keep in mind when you're talking to your niche audience, it's people like you. So whatever you're passionate about, whatever you go and search on Google, you can provide that information on your social media outlets like Facebook. And people will start following you. They'll start watching what you do because they want to know what you know. And so for me, I share a lot of my personal development stuff. Anything I read in a book that I feel like, oh man, that was really good, or I had like an aha moment, like Oprah would call it, I highlight it or I write it down and I come up with a post to share that information. Because if it spoke to me, most likely it's going to speak to other people. And then those people start following me because I'm providing valuable content that can change lives, because I know it can change lives because it's changed my life. So whatever that is in your life, you need to figure that out. Don't lead with how you're similar to every Beachbody coach. So don't just talk about Shakeology and P90X and all this stuff. That gets boring. Lead with how you're different. How are you different from everybody else? And be specific about who you're talking to. I don't talk to everybody on Facebook. When I'm making a post, I'm thinking about my niche market, which is moms, young college girls, girls that have been in my shoes, girls that are struggling. They don't have to, I don't usually attract people that need to lose, 75 plus pounds. I usually attract people that are just like me. I had to lose my last 25 to 15 pounds. And those are the people I talk to. I talk to them the same way I would want to be talked to. I sell them the same way I would want to be sold. I hate being sold. So if you push things on me, I turn away. So I never push things on people. Figure out what would sell you and talk to people that way. I think somehow we get into sales and we think we have to be salesy, and you don't. You know how you like to be sold. You know how you like to be treated. You know how you like customer service to be. Give people that, and they will want to be a part of what you're doing. So how do you promote challenges? Here's a couple do's and don'ts. Go through your Facebook friends and make a list of 2 categories. Someone who would make a great coach and someone who would be a great challenger. Do make a point to message 2 of those people personally each day. So I don't message people specifically about a challenge. I never say like, hey, just so you know, I'm running a challenge on February 4th. I don't ever do that. What I'll do is I'll start a conversation with that person. So I'll go on their wall and see something that's been going on in their life and then message them about it, or even post a comment on their Facebook wall. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. And they also long to feel important. We all long to belong. We all long to feel like we matter. And so if you as a coach make it your sole purpose every single day to make 2 to 5 people feel important, then I promise you, you will never lack people that want to know what you do or want to be a part of your circle. If you make it your sole purpose, not to sell people, not to sell challenge packs, not to focus on getting people in your challenge, that'll come around naturally if you're doing the right things. But if you make it your sole purpose to reach out to a few people a day and just simply show interest in them, care about what they care about, then they will reciprocate and they will care about what you care about. Do not mass message your friends. Do not send out event invites to spam people with your Facebook challenge thing that's going to be going on. Do not lead with your interests or intentions, and do not try to sell people. Also, do not promote products without including your personal experience or a story. You can't just promote a link to a challenge pack or a link to a video. You need to share stories. There's like a saying that says, facts tell, stories sell. Very true. People want to know the emotion of something, not just the facts. Do engage with your friends' posts and show interest in what's important to them. Do create a back and forth conversation to create an opportunity to find out how Beachbody could help them reach their goals. So when I'm talking to somebody back and forth and Beachbody's not involved yet, I'm thinking of if Beachbody could help them in some certain way. If I'm finding that they are having an issue, they don't like their career, they don't like their job, of course, Beachbody's on my mind to think, oh, change my life, change their life. Or if they're, irritated that they have to go on vacation and they feel so gross, of course I'm going to talk about challenges. But until I figure out where Beachbody fits, I don't try to shove it in there. Do share your journey and the journey of others to inspire those around you. So always talk about when you're working out, share what you're doing, share what you're feeling, all that kind of stuff on social media openly. I kind of used it as my journal for a while when I was going through my transformation, because you want people to see the changes in you. You want to be open with people so that they can see everything that's changing in your life. The more they see, the more they want to know. Getting your coaches started right. Similar to talking to your potential customers, spend most of your time listening and learning to what's important to them before you go into explaining the business and how they should work it. They need to know that you care about their goals and dreams, and you need to know what their goals and dreams are so that you can help them reach them. A lot of times what happens is we get selfish when we get in this business. We want to get to diamond or we want to get to emerald, whatever it might be. So we sign up people to help ourselves. But remember, when I showed you the incomes, your income's not going to grow until you help people succeed. And the only way you're going to motivate people to succeed is until you find out what it is that they're longing for and you help them find a way to that. And it might not be financial goals. For a lot of people it will be. But for some people it might be that they just want to be a part of something. Or for some people it might be that they really are out of shape and they need to get back in shape and they need that accountability. So you need to figure out where that person needs help and then help them get there, help them find that way. It's not about what you want from them. It's about what they want out of this business so that you can help them get there. All right, we're going to end with the importance of Success Club. It's my favorite thing in the world. Success Club will completely change your business. Can I just say, I've literally hit Success Club every single month that I've been a coach, and I refuse not to hit it. It's not an option for me not to hit it. Because when you are the leader, which whether or not you guys have a coach underneath you right now or not, you are a leader. Your job is to lead for your team, your future team, or for your current team. If you're not hitting Success Club, your coaches will not hit Success Club. I promise you. I can see it. I can see literally every coach in my entire team. I can see how many Success Club points they have. I can go into their team and see how many points their teams have. And I could go right now, and I actually did this the other day just to test it. I went to all the people that had points, and then I clicked their downline to see if their downline had points. And the ones that did not have enough points to be in Success Club, almost 100, it was like probably 95% of the time, had no people qualifying for Success Club underneath them. But the ones that did had multiple people qualifying for Success Club underneath them. Fluke? No, definitely not. Your team will do what you do. They won't do what you say, they'll do what you do. And so Success Club is, for those of you who don't know, a point system that Beachbody put in place. And as we showed you earlier, Shakeology is the bread and butter of this business. It's what it's made out of. And so Success Club is modeled around Shakeology. You get 1 point, and this is from the first of the month until the end of the month. You get 1 point for every coach or customer that signs on with Shakeology that month. It has to be auto ship. And you get 2 points for every new coach or customer that purchases a challenge pack. This bottom thing, 1 point must come from a new coach. That's actually, they closed that out. So you don't have to have a new coach each month to get to qualify for Success Club. So don't even read that. But you get 1 point from every new customer or coach with Shakeology, 2 points for every coach or customer that orders a challenge pack in a month. So for instance, we're about to end the month, so we'll start February 1st. February 1st through February 28th, I don't even know if it's a leap year, so maybe the 29th. If you were to sell 2 challenge packs that whole month, and then get 1 coach maybe that signs up with Shakeology Auto Ship, that's 5 points, and that's enough to be in Success Club. But if you only sell 2 challenge packs and you don't send another person, then it's not enough to get Success Club. The reason why you want to get Success Club is because the following month, you actually get free Shakeology leads from Beachbody. And that means that people that order Shakeology on Shakeology.com, or they order it while they're ordering their program, 100% of Shakeology sales come to coaches. Beachbody never takes that commission from us. And so they give those away as leads. And so every month, since I'm in Shakeology, or I'm in Success Club every month I get free Shakeology leads, which is $30 a pop. A lot of them are on auto ship, which means that's $30 every single month until that person cancels. And it's just free income for me. If those people ever become a coach, they get signed up underneath me. If they ever order P90X or any other workout programs, I get the commission for it because they're my customer now. And I didn't do anything to earn them except for run my business effectively and get Success Club. And so for you guys, it has to be a non-negotiable for you to get Success Club from February on. If you really want to do this business and you want to grow an actual business for yourself that produces not only income but other leaders and helps them to earn income, then Shakeology has to be the #1 focus you have every single month. Little cool fact that I wanted to show, and this is actually, this was months ago that I made this, this particular slide. He's still on Shakeology. I had a customer that was given to me in Success Club for a Success Club lead, my 2nd month as a coach. His name's Scott, and Scott orders 2 Shakeology orders a month and has done so for the past 24 months. It's been more about 30 months right now. That means I've earned over $1,440 in commission off of that 1 lead. So had I not earned Success Club back my 1st month, I would have missed out on over $1,440 just from 1 lead. And I got more than 1 lead that month. So you just never know what you're missing out on by not qualifying. Actually, another one that I want to share with you is one of my coaches, Jennifer Northrup, called me the other day freaking out because one of her Success Club leads ordered over $1,000 in Shakeology. And she got all the commission for it. And she didn't do anything to earn that customer other than get Success Club. So that's how important it is. And not because like you're guaranteed to get a $1,440 customer, but you never know. And what you're doing, your coaches will do. And if your coaches are earning Success Club, then your income's going to naturally grow because they're become more and more successful. And if they're earning Success Club, then their coaches are going to be earning Success Club. And it just continues to duplicate. It is the #1 thing I can tell you right now will determine your success in this business. So I think, oh yay, I got that done pretty quickly. I'm proud of myself. So I hope that call helped to give you a little bit more perspective on what this business can do. And I hope that you will post in your team page one aha moment that you had from this call. Hopefully it helps to give you some guidelines on where to work from. I highly suggest running at least one challenge group a month. If you can't get enough challengers, do some together. Go in with one of your other coaches and you each have 2 people and have 3 coaches in the group. So now there's 6 people plus 3 coaches, 9 people is perfect. And you can piggyback off of each other. I do the same thing. It's called an apprenticeship. So anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing night. Thank you for being on the call. And if you have any questions, send them to Gabby, TJ, or myself. Talk to you guys soon.